Jesus had been on the move, preaching and performing miracles throughout the region, and his reputation preceded him. As he returned to Nazareth, the town where he grew up, the people were buzzing with excitement, wondering what wonders he would perform for them. Jesus faced a unique challenge as he shared his message with the people of Nazareth. You see, these were the people who knew him best, who had watched him grow up, who had seen him working as a carpenter. They had a familiarity with him that made it difficult for them to accept the radical nature of his message. They knew Jesus as the son of Mary and Joseph, not as the Son of God. This familiarity created a sense of comfort, a sense of knowing that made it hard for them to see him as anything more. Imagine you're sitting in the synagogue, listening to Jesus teach, and you're thinking to yourself, wait a minute, isn't this the kid who used to play in the streets, who used to help his dad with woodworking? It's hard to reconcile the Jesus you knew with the Jesus standing in front of you, proclaiming that he's the long-awaited Messiah. And so, the more he spoke, they became amazed at his teaching. They couldn't fathom the idea that this young man who had grown up in their midst could be the one who held the power to forgive sins, to heal the sick, and to bring new life to the dead. But then he threw them a curveball. He shocked them by proclaiming that he would do nothing of the sort for them. He would instead go to the neighboring city, filled with foreigners, and perform great works. He shook them to the core, shattering their sense of entitlement and superiority. They were God's chosen people. How dare he go to a city of dirty sinners? How dare Jesus suggest, rather than his own people, those filthy foreigners were worth God's time and attention? Their awe and praise turned quickly to rage, filled with anger, and they tried to kill him on the spot. The lesson for today is clear. It's not those who think they are right and entitled to heaven that God calls to be with him. It's the sinners, those despised and looked down on, the marginalized and the oppressed that God calls to be with him. It's not those who think they are right, but those who are humble enough to know they are wrong and in need of God's mercy that he accepts. Today, the story continues and plays out on TV, the internet, churches, and even the streets. It's a song that never ends, with the self-righteous feeling secure and pointing their fingers and hating, while the lowly and meek and stained sinners look to God and obtain his mercy. It will be the self-righteous who Jesus says, "Depart from me, I never knew you," while the countless sinners, accepting his grace, go on to be with Jesus just because they accepted his invitation and they knew they didn't deserve it.